Good morning. Each morning, members of my team come to work through TTC. They cross their finger to hope that they can get here on time and not experience another shutdown. When an announcement comes across the PA system, usually uh, half the time you can't really hear it very well. And yesterday, getting to work on time was close to impossible if people are on line two, the Bloor line. We had another subway shut down. People were trapped on trains, crushed on platforms, trying to hear what's going on. The PA system worked sometime and not other times, and they were piled up on the road, on Danforth, on Bloor, and waiting for bus after buses. It just was wondering whether they would ever get to work or school on time, or and then in the afternoon get home at all. This is the state of our city's buildings, trains, community center, um, and as illustrated in the report that the executive committee will be dealing with. The libraries, for example, is short $3 million, parks and recreation $27 million, the transit is short $2.3 billion. That's a huge amount of money. 4 out of 10 of the city infrastructure are categorized as poor or very poor in terms of its performances. That means they're falling apart literally in front of our eyes and require replacement so they could operate. And the longer we wait to fix it, the more it will cost. More than 50% of Toronto's capital budget is invested in state and good repair. We're looking to increase that percentage. This is just to maintain the infrastructure over the next 10 years. And we do have a $26 billion gap to maintain current service level over the next 10 years. Through the New Deal, we are adding in a lot more money for state of good repair funding. It's $1.6 billion through the 2024 budget process, but it's nowhere near enough. We're just treading water. We need a comprehensive plan from both the federal and the provincial government, and I will continue to have I will continue to have conversation with other levels of government so that our assets can be maintained in a proper way. I am open for questions. Sorry, thank you. Too much coffee.
A heightened security presence around City Hall today related to the Israeli flag raising. I understand that you were not there. Can you tell us why you weren't present for that?
I don't know the heightened. I just saw it in front of my window. I don't I don't know why the barricades are up. I was told briefly this morning that they are preparing for a big tractor pulling event. It's a fundraiser. I saw it last year where they had big trucks where people were trying to pull it. Different teams were trying to pull it as a fundraiser for one of the charities in town, and they're bringing in these tractors. So that's what I heard. That's what they were doing. But in terms of the flag, the decision is not mine or City Council. City Protocol Office was delegated the power to run the flag raising program in 1999. And I generally don't go to flag raising events for countries because there are quite a lot of them. And I think it's a bit divisive because there's a war going on in the Middle East and people are protesting every weekend.
Based on that, is that your reasoning for not going, is because it's so divisive at this point?
Yes, it is, because it's pretty clear. There's been demonstrations since October every weekend and emotions are very high. And I think it's important that we hear each other, be empathetic. And I have executive committee on in a few minutes anyway.
Ottawa, the city of Ottawa, at least at one point canceled their flag raising. Was that ever an option here that you considered?
No, because of the 1999 policy, uh, neither myself or any city councilors has the right to say yes or no to any flags raising. We could change the policy and bring it back to a political decision rather than delegating it to the city protocol office. But that would require a council decision. And once we change the policy, then I guess we could, if we want to, if we change the policy to bring it back to a political decision, then one could argue. But the council are not meeting till end of May.
Is it something you would like to see happen based on the fact that flag raisings can in fact be seen as a political message?
I don't believe so because in the years I was at council, the 14 years, I've seen far too much time debating which country should or shouldn't be able to raise their flags. And I think it's better to have the protocol office make decisions based on global Canada guidelines, right? For example, there have been discussion of certain countries that are recognized by some parts of the world and not other parts of the world. I don't think a municipality is equipped to make, or a political, or municipal councilors or mayor are equipped to do so. And that's why I think the policy was that it is to have Global Canada provide the list in terms of which country should or should not be able to raise flags. Also, it's not just countries, there's also others where there's pride flags and etc., right? Trans flag, and we're about to do that in a few days.
Chow, you touched on the corporate asset management plan. It's a pretty jargony title, but obviously it's got some pretty important facts and figures in it. Does the city need a sales tax or a cut of the federal income tax to pay for all of this crumbling infrastructure?
We absolutely need another form of revenue that would grow with the economy. There's not a chance the property tax can handle it. And it's been neglected, not just this year, or not in the last few years. If you look at the backlog, it's been piling up, right? So as far as I remember on the transit system, it's a long time where you look up and there are roofs that are not quite fixed, dangling things. Some of the staircase can be better maintained. For the longest time, the PA system sometimes work and other times don't work. Depends on which systems it is. And it's just, we are the financial capital. We're the biggest city in Canada. And when I was just recently in LA, I look at, and you're very proud to represent City of Toronto because we have a $2.6 billion film industry. All the Americans, studios love Toronto. They love filming in Toronto. And as you're trying to sell Toronto, which you want to say, yeah, we have the best workforce, most diverse, and we have the best sound stages, and it's huge, and 35,000, you're just saying all these amazing things, and yet in the back of my mind, I know that our infrastructure is just falling apart, and it shouldn't be that way. And it's sort of sad. I mean, um, as you are coming in to City Hall, you see some of the roof of just on the ground level. If you look up, some of the slats are coming off. Some of the benches are not in the best shape, um, and the square itself, the membrane needs to be reworked. So there's lots and lots of work that needs to be done. And it's not being done because we literally do not have the funds. Like public transit, for example, $2.3 billion is what we need in public transit. Already we are spending 720 million annual budget, and yet we need $3 billion a year, right? So that's huge. Per year, we need $3 billion. So right now, you've heard me said before, we need new trains in line 2 so that we could have better signaling system, we have better trains, and we need to get the order in.
Of the revenue tools that are being discussed by staff behind the scenes at this point, would any of that be dedicated to capital, or are you looking at something completely different?
If what we're looking at, you're talking about our own revenue to our long-term financial plan.
You spoke about the need for
It,
dedicated funding, so is that possible? Or would there be something completely different that you're thinking?
well, we absolutely need some kind of revenue tool from the federal and the provincial government. We just don't have the power to do that. The things that we have power to do, we've already done, like hotel charges, billboard taxes, parking levies, not the commercial one yet, the mansion tax we call, anything that's more than $3 million, we are asking people to pay a bit. If they're buying a new home, that's expensive. The vacancy tax, we've upped it. We've gone through the list that was proposed to us by EY, and literally just everything that are being proposed we are considering, and we've done most of it. We will do more, but even doing all of that, it's nowhere near enough to deal with this huge backlog. That's what keeps me up at night. It's 9:30, so yeah.
Back to yesterday's transit problems.
Oh God, yes.
About talking to people on the streets, and I think most people understand if there's a transit problem every now and then, they understand things happen, but it seems to be happening with a much higher frequency.
You're right.
So what do you say to sort of transit riders who are exasperated at this point, especially when you want more people to take transit to try to ease the gridlock?
Well, bear with us. Keep taking TTC. It is still the better way. We apologize for the shutdowns. We literally need more investment. And without that, it's not as reliable as we want. But still, it's a very good system. I just coming back from a place where there's no subways in LA. Literally, there's no subway system, right? And the 3 days I was there, I didn't see many buses, and everyone was driving. So in terms of public transit in the city of Toronto, it's still excellent. Can we do a lot better? Absolutely. Can it be more reliable? Yep. So more affordable, more reliable, faster, more convenient, all of those things we're working on it. I better go and start the meeting. Thank you.